Chapter 177 Misunderstanding. Seeing the various leaders and upper echelons of the various large factions display their divine powers, Sanshi fell into deep thought. Even if these leaders were in the same realm as some riffraff, the difference in strength was huge. The worst cultivators were the lone cultivators who followed the Yi family. At this moment, many of them had already been killed by the Heavenly Poison Sect cultivators. The difference in equipment is big indeed, Sanshi muttered. Looking at the array formation of the Heavenly Ghost Sect attacking a hull, he shook his head secretly. As a grade 6 array master second only to the perfected Heavenly Star Lord, he could see that the grade of the array in the core area had not changed much, yet its defense had increased greatly. It was already impossible to break it with the strengths of just a sect. You're slacking at the side again. Now that Wuxia had her eyes on Sanshi, she was very unhappy to see him looking around. Could it be that you like me? Sanshi found it strange. Why did this woman keep pestering him? Pfft, who would like you? Liu snorted. You're the one who didn't follow the rules. Haven't I done now? Sanshi crossed his arms. I put in a lot of effort at the tea garden. I even killed the spider emperor. What's wrong with taking a break? Wuxia moved her lips and realized that this fact was indeed not easy for her to refute. Don't give me any more trouble, or I'll make you pregnant. Sanshi said bluntly. You're resumless. Liu didn't know how to respond, and her face turned red. These words made the young men who admired Wuxia angry as they glared at him. Watch your mouth, Shichianya said darkly. Wuxia's face darkened to when he heard this. He turned around and said, Elder Bloodrobes, we still have to be more refined among fellow disciples. Sect Master, I didn't even curse. I'm already being elegant enough. Sanshi shook his head. Those with bad tempers would probably already bring up Wuxia's wife or his other deceased family members. Wuxia frowned. When this blood-robed old ghost became famous back then, he was also known to be extremely temperamental. He burned, killed, plundered, and committed all kinds of evil. He was really afraid that his daughter would suffer. He turned around and said, do your own thing and ignore the others. Wuxia was depressed when she heard that. Her father was biased towards the old ghost again. Sanshi sat on the path in front of the plaza and said meaningfully, don't waste your energy. The fact that the two factions didn't break through the weapon pavilion despite working together means that the ruins in the core area can't be broken through by one faction alone. Just as he said this, the scripture depository, Gumble, Dan and entrance was opened by the perfected Heavenly Star Lord. The people from the Heaven Secret Office quickly entered. Then, the array formation closed and isolated them from the outside world again. Wuxia chuckled. Didn't you say that no sect can break it alone? Sanshi was slightly embarrassed and did not answer. He only sized up Wuxia with ill intentions. The latter could not help but think of what Sanshi had just said, and his expression became uncomfortable. Stop first. Wuxia gave the order. He also noticed this problem. The power of the array formation in the core area was much stronger than the outside. It was a little difficult to break it with brute force. Suddenly, a shadow flashed beside him, and a figure appeared. Wuxia, are you interested in working together? In the air, a jade coffin descended from the sky and stabbed into the youth side with a bang. This young man was dressed in an ancient long robe. His face was cold and hard, and his expression was domineering. His muscles and bones were like jade, and his entire body was fluorescent. Sanshi was shocked. He could no longer tell whether the zombie was a dead person. This realm was indeed not simple. Ying Kun, I was also looking for you. When Wuxia saw the latter, he nodded slightly. Which side do you want to break? Wait a minute. Ying Kun looked at Sanshi. Why do you have the Hideragami bloodline contract on you? How did you find out? Sanshi was shocked. His contract had been discovered. Wasn't his original identity about to be exposed? No. When he signed the contract, his identity was exposed. It shouldn't be that bad. How can I not discover it? Ying Kun was expressionless. Since you have a contract, you are considered half a member of the Heavenly Corpse sect. Wuxia, if he dies, remember to give us his corpse. You know, signing a contract means that his body is ours. Oh. Blood-robed elder, do you have an agreement with the Heavenly Corpse sect? Wuxia was surprised. I signed it. A scarlet stone coffin flew over and landed on the ground with a bang. A middle-aged man who looked like a scholar stood out. Pan bowed to Yin Khan. Emperor Khan, I met this person in the Thousand Posons mountain range. I saw that his physical talent was very good, so I formed a contract with him. He introduced respectfully. I've specially investigated him afterwards. This person's original name is Songshi, has the son of a concubine of a mortal family in Silken City. By chance, he became related to a disciple of the Yaomun Palace and stepped onto the cultivation path. Has even had affiliations with the demon slayers. Back then, he went to the Thousand Posons mountain range on a mission and I bumped into him. Later on, he probably encountered the blood-robed old ghost and his body was possessed. The more Songshi listened, the worse his expression became. Damn it, why was this fellow so diligent? He actually investigated his entire background. Yes, possession is nothing. We only need a physical body. Yin Kun nodded and sized up Songshi. Your physique is indeed not bad. You found a good seedling for the Crimson Emperor. I didn't expect the blood-robed old ghost to improve this body by so much. Remember, our contract is still the same. You can look for us before you die. Suqian smiled. At this moment, a purple light suddenly pressed down on Songshi, and the voice suddenly became solemn. Lu Jiu raised his head and shouted, Fairy Ziyu, what are you doing? Songshi is an elder of the Yaomun Palace, so I naturally have to ask you all some questions. Lu Yoayu was speechless. What other identities does this guy have? Why is he related to the three major forces? Lu Jiu frowned. Was the background of the person possessed by the blood-robed old ghost so complicated? Ziyu stared at Songshi. Show me your true colors. Songshi didn't. He know whether to cry or laugh. This was a little chaotic. Not only had his identity been exposed, but he had also been misunderstood. At this point, he didn't pretend anymore. He simply formed a seal with his hands and his muscles and bones began to squirm. 1,000 transformations. Ziyu exclaimed. Looks like Lu Yu is doomed. I don't know if she was killed by you or him. Under her gaze, Songshi turned into a handsome young man in the blink of an eye. At this moment, he still looked like he had just come of age. He looked quite young and mature and was in his youth. This stunned many people, other than Lu Jiu and the other nascent soul cultivators who were used to it. The other disciples of the Heavenly Ghost sect had interesting expressions. He was hiding under a pretense before. I actually couldn't tell. So this is who he really is. He's so young, he doesn't look like he's even 20, right? Lu Yoayu was quite shocked. She did not expect Songshi to look like he was not much older than her. It's really you. Ziyu had a solemn expression and sighed. Blood-robed old ghost, you killed my benefactor. I will avenge him. Shichiane and the others immediately revealed gloating expressions. At the same time, they were a little curious. How could the person that this old ghost possessed be indebted to this newly advanced nascent soul realm cultivator from the Yaomun Palace? Ziyu did not say anything else and they did not pay much attention to it. In any case, this blood-robed old ghost was unlucky. Since Ziyu had said this in front of everyone, she would definitely not go easy on him. Songshi did not know what to say. This misunderstanding that he had caused was a little too big.